Yo, what's up, everybody? Season 4 tier list dropping right now. I know some of you guys have been waiting for a while, so I wanted to get it out ASAP. So let's get right into it. Season 4 basically consists of 6 heroes. I will show them on the camera and then talk about them individually. I do have the charts going over kind of their attributes or their strengths, and then I have a tier list on the right side, as you can see. So Season 4, Commissar, Deus Ex, Hummingbird, Caesar, Juggernaut, and Venom Walker. Pretty interesting season. Season 4 was quite a long time ago for myself, but as you'll see, some of these heroes are still actually kind of useful even in Season X at the top level. All right, okay, so let's get right into it. First hero, maybe unsurprisingly, the worst. I'm gonna go worst to best, but the worst hero in Season 4, I'm sorry, but it's Commissar. I'm sure everyone was kind of expecting that. Commissar, here's his nice stats. This is kind of a joke, but I gave him the worst stats for every single category. It's kind of true though. Here's the legitimate stats for Commissar. Terrible. He's not a tank. He's not really a support. He barely has CC. Doesn't really do any damage, and really doesn't fit into any team comp. Generally, what happens if you're not unfamiliar with the system that I kind of have, I go clockwise. Clockwise. So tank, support, CC, damage, and then adaptability, and that's kind of the order that I'm referring to. So he does do a little bit of CC. Right here, he disarms 2 random enemies. It's a 25% chance, so it's not that good. And disarm kind of only blocks basic attacks. So really, it's only a counter against very few heroes. Ivan, Nomad, Rose. So it's not like that good of a CC. That's why it's only a 2 out of 5. And then the rest of his kit is very weak. He has very low percentage chances on all of his skills, and they just don't do any damage. So it's kind of he's just a really bad character all around. So let's ignore Commissar. He's pretty terrible. There's not really a working team comp with him. Maybe in the future, splash damage could become a huge thing, and then maybe Commissar would be useful. Or that linking ability that he has could be very useful if a hero comes out who does like 10,000 damage on one single unit. Then this linking thing would be good. So I don't know. We'll see. But he's definitely not worth investing any resources in to get Commissar. So moving on, we have Juggernaut. Now, Juggernaut's a Season 4 fighter. A defensive fighter, basically meaning front row. As you can see here, he's kind of focused on being a tank and a little bit of support. So he really does 0 CC, and he doesn't do a lot of damage. He's not very good. He's C tier hero. Even in Season 4, he's not very good. He's honestly kind of comparable with Viscount, who's a Season 2 hero. I would put Juggernaut, inch him barely above Viscount in Season 4 meta. But not significantly by any means. Other than that, he really doesn't do a lot of damage. He has a counterattack, but it's only 120%. Nothing amazing there. And then for the first 2 turns, everybody takes 30% less damage, but then after that, he only heals based on the damage that he deals, and he doesn't deal a lot of damage, right? So he's not a very good hero either. He's not really used in Season X at all, like ever. In Season 4, he can be used. So Juggernaut, Tech Priest as Knight is kind of the combo where Juggernaut's useful. But like I said, Viscount's kind of the same. So there's not really a huge point to be using Juggernaut or to invest any resources into him. So let's move on. Now we're at the B tier. This is in no specific order. Within the B tier itself. But we have Caesar. So Caesar's stats, or his chart, actually looks pretty good. Super heavy support with decent CC and decent adaptability. No tank, no damage. So it's funny because Caesar's always played in the front. Generally, he's in the front row. And that's not really because he's a tank. He doesn't really have any tanking statistics or tanking abilities. It's just because of the range of his skills, really. And because nobody else needs to be in the front, especially in season 4. So yeah, he can go in the middle row and it's completely fine. He can even go in the back row, and it's not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, he's basically full on support, and he has this pretty good CC for the first 3 turns, as well as he has this silence. So maybe his CC even should have been a little bit higher, but then his chart would just look kind of amazing, and he's not that good of a hero. He's still used in Season X though, basically as just kind of a support CC bot. He can be used with Organic very nicely, because again of that CC kind of synergy between Organic and Caesar. He can be used with Death Rider, pretty much any of the vehicle heroes in Season X he can be used with, and he'll be a decent kind of support bot. Some people like the combo Kami, Caesar, Farseer. It's okay. It's not like that amazing in my opinion. But Caesar's pretty useful. He's useful in Season X, like I said. If you have a super max base, you're probably not going to see him. But some people even with very very nice bases are using him. So take that how you will. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, we have Venom Walker. So Venom Walker is a Season 4 fighter hero. Venom Walker is pretty cool. I liked Venom Walker a lot when he first came out. I thought he had a pretty interesting kit, and here's why. He's not really that good of anything. He's a master of none, jack of all trades sort of type situation here. His tanking ability is actually pretty good. He has plus 15% HP, but all of his skill ranges basically indicate that he belongs in the back line, and that's kind of where he's been put, generally speaking, just because none of his abilities really require him to tank or give him any extra tanking statistics, right? So Venom Walker is a very consistent hero. He pretty much does the same amount of damage every single time. He pretty much heals the same every single time. So that's why he gives his damage decently. His adaptability is pretty high. He can go in kind of full fighter combos. So you can even do Juggernaut, Tech Priestess, Venom Walker, or kind of any combination like that in Season 4. You can also do mixed troops, so you can do something like Tech Priestess, Venom Walker, Hummingbird, and that's arguably one of the best combos in Season X, considering every single hero from Seasons 1 through 4. Sorry, I didn't mean X, I meant in Season 4. Once you get to Season X, though, Venom Walker drops off pretty hard. You'll rarely ever see him. He also is countered pretty significantly by Tech Priestess because of this burning effect. Tech Priestess usually is just going to heal all of that up on everybody, and it's kind of a sort of negative skill when you go up against something like Tech Priestess. But again, he's a pretty good hero in Season 4, very very consistent, so you always know what you're getting out of him, and I do like that. There's a lot of heroes in this game who are very inconsistent, but Venom Walker is kind of the exact opposite. So yeah, he's pretty useful, pretty good hero all around. Anyway, let's move on. Deus Ex, or Deus Ex Machina, or whatever his name is. Lian Cheng Chi, I don't know, I probably butchered that, but Xie, Lian Cheng Xie, I don't know. Anyway, pretty much a tanky support. That's about it. That's what you're getting out of this guy, and he does it pretty well. Especially in Season 4, he does it quite well. So hero squad damage taken minus 30%. He has HP plus 15. This is kind of a support ability right here. The enemy just takes more damage from everything, which is nice. It's a good ability. And then he basically heals up, and he makes himself and his friendlies tankier. So he's again a support. He's pretty good in Season 4. Deus Ex Wings Hummingbird, Wings of Liberty, and Hummingbird is the best shooter formation up to Season 4, and it's Also pretty damn good even in Season X. The super heavy Season X combos are going to win, but it still holds its ground in Season X. And Deus Ex in particular holds its ground in Season X quite well. Probably better than the others listed so far, with maybe the exception of Caesar. You can still run Deus Ex in the front row in full shooter comps. So you can run something like Deus Koshei Nomad was a very common combo before Tracker. And it's still quite a good combo. Or you can switch them Koshei Deus Nomad. It doesn't really matter the order of these heroes because of their skills. So yeah, but he's all around a very good shooter tank hero. Unfortunately, he does fall off just because he doesn't really provide enough. He just doesn't really ever die, which isn't always what you're looking for. So he's kind of pretty one-dimensional in terms of he just kind of sits there, doesn't die, and kind of buffs your heroes, which isn't a bad thing, but sometimes it's just not enough. Anyway, let's continue. We're making pretty good time here, which is very rare for me. So finally, the last hero in the pool. I'm sure every single one of you knew who the S hero was in this pool. It's very obvious for players who have gone through Season 4 or beyond, but it is Hummingbird. She is by far the best hero in Season 4. There's a clear gap. There's nobody in A tier, and that's basically just to signify how good Hummingbird actually is. Hummingbird's a ranged archer. She pretty much belongs in the back line. You can flex her in the middle, depending on kind of who you're going up against. But she just does a shit ton of damage, right? She goes beyond the scale of damage, just like Death Rider and Nomad. And she does some of the most damage in the game. If she's kind of left alone to her own devices and she's buffed a bunch, she might do the most damage. I'm not sure, but it rivals Death Rider Nomad. She is kind of the only hero I think in the game with a different fourth skill. I don't know why. I like it. They should do it more because it's kind of more interesting. But she has 60% increased might, no increased. No, I don't know. Her resistance is fine, but her might is plus 60 for whatever reason. She increases her damage dealt by 20%, but she increases damage received by 20% as well. So it's a glass cannon situation. She deals a bunch of damage, but she also can take a bunch of damage. Pretty much what this means is you need those support heroes around Hummingbird, which is why her adaptability is a little bit lower. You want someone like Deus Ex who's gonna heal her, Venom Walker who's gonna heal her, Tech Priestess, Canoness, Gluttony, etc., etc., etc. Those type of heroes pair very, very well with Bird. But other than that, she just does a ton of damage and actually has a decent amount of CC. She disarms, trip recovery blocks, and then lowers damage. But she is sort of hit or miss. She's one of those heroes who's not as consistent as Venom Walker later on in the game, especially when there's heavy CC heroes on the other team. Somebody like Venom Walker actually kind of counters Bird pretty significantly. She has a lot of prep. So 1 turn prep, 2 turn prep. That's it. But Venom Walker has an ability where every single turn he will cancel or interrupt channel skills. These prep skills are channel skills. I don't know why they don't stick to one word, but whatever the case may be, if she is prepping her skills, which she does very, very often, and Venom Walker attacks her with that ability, like I said, it's every single round. It's random, but if it lands on Hummingbird, that prep goes away, and then you kind of have to get that lucky chance again and then go through that prep situation, right? So this back ability in particular, you're probably only going to see this twice a game max. Maybe usually just once, not usually, but oftentimes just once, sometimes 0 times for it to actually, go off, which does kind of set her back. But hey, it is what it is. That's why you want a hero like Gluttony, for example, who puts on basically a clarity onto her so she can't get CC'd, right? If she's not silenced, she does wonders. If she does get CC'd, she's more or less useless, especially because she's going to be taking more damage, right? So that's kind of it for season 4. Season 4 was pretty simple. There are some bad heroes, there are some good heroes, and there's one great hero. Commissar is yeah, he's kind of a meme. Probably the worst hero in the game. At least of the season heroes, I would say he is the worst hero. But he's even worse than probably quite a few regular orange heroes, maybe. Yeah, anyway, that's about season 4. It's pretty simple. But if you guys have some weird ass combos, definitely let me know. You can run all these heroes with pretty much anybody in seasons below. So you can do something like Caesar Anna Ivan, even Caesar Panther Ivan, or Caesar Panther Anna or something like that. You can pretty much put Caesar in anywhere, with War Boss, with Falcon. It doesn't really matter. Same with Venom Walker. You can kind of throw him in with any fighter heroes. Deus, throw him in with any shooter heroes. The professional Cincinnatus, whoever it may be, he's gonna do fine. And similar to Bird's a little bit less, but similar to Bird as well, because she kind of has to be in the back row. Generally in season 4, she wants to be in the back row, but like I said, flexing her in the middle is totally fine. I run a combination. I still use Hummingbird. I pretty much have every hero maxed, except for the 3 newest heroes. And I still use Hummingbird to this day. People with fully maxed bases still use Hummingbird, right? So it just shows you how good she actually is. All right, guys, that's about it. This was pretty quick, pretty simple. Like I said, if you guys have questions on these heroes, or you disagree with me, please let me know. I would be kind of surprised if you disagreed on this one. This one's pretty universally accepted, at least. So it'd be interesting to see, nevertheless. All right, guys, that's about it. I will be coming out with more this week. I want to do a Season X tier list video pretty soon. I'll probably do several parts, because fitting 22 heroes on a chart like this would take forever. So anyway, that's about it, guys. Take care. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys are having fun. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, stay lucky. I'll catch you guys later. All right, peace.